Hello everyone and welcome to our game Bonhomme. Now the theme that we chose for this one is a local urban legend theme, and for that we went with our Quebec folklore good old Bonhomme, or as we can call him to make it a lot easier, the Boogeyman. Now, the origins of the Bonhomme are essentially the same as the Boogeyman. If you're not asleep by a certain time, the Bonhomme will come out and get you. Now, the type of game that we made to complement that theme is a horror exploration game, somewhat survival, with a big emphasis on the ambience of a dark, creepy house. Now, the main game goal, along with the mechanics that go with that, are that you need to escape the boogeyman. However, he does not come after you 24/7. He actually only comes out during the night, which means that before 7 p.m., you actually have a nice grace period where you can plan your things out, make sure that you can actually make the night, find the keys maybe one or two before he actually comes out, and be ready for when he comes out. Then, once he does, you can hide or you can run. However, if you hide, you will lose your sanity, which means that you can only hide for so long. Now you can use a teddy bear that you have in your own little room to protect yourself and gain your sanity back. However, you can only use it once. Therefore, you have to find a nice balance between running and hiding and making sure that he does not find you while you find the keys to disable him. So some key elements to our game are actually the diversifiers that we chose. For example, we chose Run Out of Ink, which gives a nice black and white ambiance and makes it even more creepy as the only color is actually emitted by the boogeyman himself. Along with Take Care of Yourself, which brings in an even more survival aspect as you have a bar that you need to watch if you actually want to make it through the night. You can't make it, you just can't see anything. Now, there are some other things, such as the day-night cycle. Like we mentioned before, he only actually comes out at 7 p.m. You can also hide, which is the high risk, high reward. Or if you hide, you can make through the night, but you won't be able to see anything. Or you can run, but then he can get you. Then there's also a grabber physics engine, which allows you to move objects around, meaning some keys might be hidden behind objects. Or you can even use a pile of logs, for example, build yourself a little hut, and you're perfectly fine, since he can't see through objects. Now, how we could see our game out in the open market would be a very simple pricing method of you pay, you play. We don't really feel like any other things such as a monthly gaming subscription or DLC that locks out content behind a paywall would be beneficial to our game in any ways. There are plenty of games that do that, and we feel like people mostly prefer to just pay, play the game, that's it. No more complications. Then we could price it in its current state with some very obvious bug fixing, of course, but I'm speaking more about content, to $5 to $10. However, if you want to expand it like we eventually plan to, which I will talk about later, we could bring it up to 20, 25, and even 30, depending on how much we can actually manage to pull out content for this game. Now, that is not to say that DLC is completely out of the question. We could implement some sort of paying method, but it would be more of a support the developer instead of pay to get access to more content. Such as you could get a DLC that gives you the soundtrack, or access to some concept art for posters or any decorations really. So it would not be on a concept of pay to get more content, but then again, pay to support the developers so that we can pull out more content. Now, how we could actually see our game evolving in the future, along with some very obvious bug fixing, would be to add a lot more replayability. And how we plan to do that was actually pretty simple. There's a thing that we thought of, and that is using procedural maps. So, for example, instead of, like it is right now, logging in, playing, and all you get is the children's room, the kitchen, the living room, storage room, and the eating area, you could have a completely different layout of the map every single time, along with different key positions and different props at different places. Now, this would add a lot of challenge and a lot of replayability since you can't just speedrun, go right for the keys, and know exactly where they are. Along with that, we could also add different characters. For example, a character that could, instead of using the teddy, use a bicycle to go even faster. Now, mix those together, and you have a lot more replayability and a lot more possibility to play it even more. On that note, I want to give a big thank you for listening, and I hope to be working with you in the future. Thanks.